Hello, my name is Hannah. Today we're making a stacked modern house in Willow Creek, and this starts like every other one of my builds because I don't ever go in with a plan like ever. So this one I just kind of started placing boxes down and they ended up like on top of one another, so it's now a stacked house. And I really like stacked houses because they look stupid from the outside, but then they're like kind of fun on the inside, except for the staircase or like any ladder or anything. That is the worst part of stacked houses because I don't ever make them like normal. They're always like somewhat off-centered of each other, and so it makes it really horrible to try and get any way to get up to the next floor. So this one I believe has ladders, so there is no toddlers or pets. Most likely you could put like the toddler like I guess like on the first floor, or like not have the pet go up to like the second and third floor, but like just like reasonably you should maybe not have those here because you can't get to the second third floor with them unless you want to teleport the toddler, in which go ahead because I do that all the time. So whatever you want, but this house has I guess like teenagers or children instead, because I was originally going to put a toddler, but then I was like, okay, they can't get upstairs, so then I just changed that one. And so the outside I went with blue to begin with. It doesn't stay blue for very long. I think maybe the columns stay blue, but the outside just stays black and white for the most part, because I made it like mostly blue for a little bit and then I was like, no, this looks really weird, so then I made it black and white. And I went with modern because I feel like you can't make a I don't know, old like 19th century style stacked house because it just looks strange. Like you definitely could, but it'd be like, what's happening there? So I feel like modern like looks the best and it looks correct when you build something like this. So I just added like big windows. They're in like the corners, so like the other side of the like square I guess doesn't have very many windows, but all of like the main areas of the room are able to like see the windows. And like I think the bathrooms don't even have any windows, which is good because you don't want, you know, windows that are huge and glass in your bathroom, even if this is The Sims. But I think all of the bathrooms don't have any windows, but all of the bedrooms have like big windows, so I thought that was pretty cool. And all of like the living spaces is in the like first square, like on the bottom. It is a little tight and there is no dining table, but I thought that was fine because this is The Sims. You don't need a dining table, and as long as they can get through, it's not really a tight space for them. So I basically just put a kitchen and then like a 2 or a 3 seat couch. I'm not sure exactly the size of the couch, but like just a small little couch and like a chair, I think. So I think they can all sit in the living room or in this like main area, so that's good. And then also I put like a desk down here. It's actually not as small as I thought it was going to be. It's a 5x5 box and there's 3 of them, so it's actually, you know, pretty roomy for like a small house. And so I could fit like a bunch of stuff on this first area. It's kind of small, but it's not horrible because, like, you know, that desk, a lot of the houses that especially the stacked ones, don't have places for desks, and so this is pretty nice. And it's got like fancy detailing and stuff. It's got like plants, it's got like a rug, and so it's pretty fancy. Like they even got like their own stand for the TV. Sometimes I'll just like put it above something or put it in the kitchen or something because there's not enough room. But this place even has a sink, so that's pretty fancy for like the houses that I build that are like about this size usually. So I thought that was pretty good. And I was originally going to make it 4x4, but then I was like, I want some extra space, so I made it 5x5, and I thought that was a good decision because, you know, then I had extra space for fun things. And like I got 2 children in, or 2 teenagers in, I guess, instead of just 1, and then the parents have like their own space, so it's pretty fancy. And it might look small, but it is, you know, big enough for a family of 4, so that's pretty cool. And so that's about it for the house, I guess. So we're going to move on to some of the things that I did this week. So the first thing is practice. We had practice once this week, which is really good because I wanted to sleep in. And so I only had to wake up early on Thursday, which isn't horrible, but I do prefer having practice if there's only one on Tuesdays, because that's a day that we get out of school early. So then it kind of evens out, and so you got, you know, short at the like end of the day, but then you get there earlier, but it still feels shorter. But like on Thursdays we're there, I swear, it's like 6 a.m. until like 3 p.m. So it's so much time, and so it feels like Thursdays go on forever, but it's fine because they're also not horrible, because like practice doesn't feel like it's that long, and also like once school actually starts, it doesn't feel like you've been there for like that long unless it's like 7th period, and then you're like, I've been here for 7 hours, just let me go home at this point. So that's when it gets, kind of tiring, but it's probably okay. But we didn't have practice on Tuesday because my coach had COVID, and so she came back Thursday, so that was all fun. But she smelled like cough syrup, or someone smelled like cough syrup, which I thought that was really fun because they're supposed to be on like the COVID leave, and then they come back smelling like cough syrup. Which I thought that, because it was really bad. Like, it smelled like if you just take a whiff of, like, cough syrup straight out of the bottle, and that was just really bad. I just walked in, I was like, oh, cough syrup, and, like, I don't know, but, like, it was just immediately, as soon as I walked in the gym door, it was just, like, that smell was just overwhelming everywhere. It wasn't that bad once I walked, like, away, but, like, right at that entrance, I have no clue, but it was really bad, and so that was real fun. Also this week we had a basketball game. Well, we kind of had two, but it was very weird. So we have both the freshman and the reserve girls games. However, I think our team had like some like issues with getting people to the games, or they just don't have enough people to play. So we were playing against another school, and they had enough people, I think, or they had like more than enough people, because they had like probably twice the amount of people that we did, but I don't really know. But we weren't really told what was happening. We had, I think, the coach of one of the basketball teams come over to us, and he was just like, where are you cheering at? And we're just like, I don't know, both of the games. And he was like, oh, I wasn't sure, like at the very beginning, and that kind of just like threw us off, because this is just random coach, and he was just like, okay, so you're only really doing like 1.5 games, and we were all like, what do you mean? And so he was like, well, we're only doing like 6 quarters instead of this, or how a normal basketball game is. And so we were all just like, what? And then he kind of just walked away, so we didn't really know what we were doing, and like nobody knew what was happening. But we did in fact play 1.5 kind of games, because you usually play, I guess 4, like quarters, I guess, of a basketball game. But we only played, we played 6, but we did 3, and then we had like a halftime kind of thing. And then we had like 1 more with like the freshman group, and then we did 2 for the reserve, but they only switched like the points over partway through at like not the same time that they switched, so it was very awkward. I'm fairly positive we won though, I think, but to be fair, it's kind of very weird, so I'm not sure exactly what was happening, but I don't think anybody did, because we asked some of the players and none of them knew what was happening, and then the coaches didn't know, and nobody in the audience knew, and it's kind of scary to go up to like a ref who's just sitting at the table, so none of us did that. So they might have known what was happening, but the rest of us were like, no, we'll just sit back over here and wait for it to happen. And so the final quarter that we like cheered at started when the second game was like supposed to start, I guess, when it was like scheduled to have started. So we got out there like much earlier than we thought we were going to, and so that was fun, I guess, because then I got to be home for more than 20 minutes before I went to bed, because sometimes on those days with like 2 games, I'm like, I get home, do my homework for like a bit, and then I go straight to basketball for 4 hours, and then I don't get any time at home. And so it was kind of fun, because then I got like another hour and a half more time to be, not cheering at night. So it's fun, but, I'm kind of tired by that point. So, and especially 2 games, like I don't want to be there that long. My feet start hurting about halfway through that second game, and it's just not that much fun to stand for that long. Like 1 game's fine, 2 game is torture. So not really sure about that one, but they keep doing it, and that's all of the basketball games this season, so that's really fun right there. But other than that, tryouts is coming up, and I'm very nervous. Well, it's not really coming up, it's in about 2 months. It's at the end of March, so it's a little closer when you're seeing this voiceover, but it's only the 6th when I'm recording this. But I'm kind of nervous already, like kind of already starting to set in. I honestly feel like this season went by way too quickly. Like, I feel like my freshman year went by so much slower, and then this one just went by super quickly. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I don't like it because I have to go try out again. I'm not like worried that I'm not gonna get on a team because I think people like me. Like, my team really likes like my jumps and stuff like that, and so I'm not worried about that because I'm also like one of the only people that can tumble, and I think that's entirely why I made it freshman year. That's a whole nother thing though. But the only thing I'm worried about is that I have to resort so much like energy to like being loud because I'm not loud and I don't talk like ever. So when I do have to like do tryouts, I have to like not talk for the entire day to be able to like mentally happen at tryouts, and I also have to just memorize all that stuff, which is never a big deal, but it's just like really scary to just like think about that. And also just like, I'm gonna try and get on varsity, maybe. I kind of want to, but I also kind of don't want to be like all alone because I've cheered with basically the same people for 2 years now, and I know that not all of us are going to get on varsity, obviously, because not supposed to. We're supposed to get on JV. Well, I guess supposed to. Like, normally you get on JV, but I'm trying to maybe get on varsity, but I don't really know. I think I'm just going to be happy with whatever I get. I'm not really sure. But like this year, I really didn't want to get on to the JV team, and I'm glad I didn't because I just don't feel like it'd be odd to be with like people that I didn't like already cheer with. But now I'm just like, it's going to be really different if I get on varsity next year because it's going to be with a bunch of juniors. Well, I guess other juniors because I'll be a junior, but like juniors this year, like the seniors, and then also just like people that have been on JV this year. So it's odd, but I'm a little bit nervous about that. But you know, I'm just gonna put that to the other side of my brain and just like forget about that. But you know, that's about it. So I'm gonna stop talking about cheer again. So it is almost screenshots time. So subscribe if you did like today's video or if you want to see more like this. But I do post 4 videos a week, so you can watch another video next time. Bye.